YouTube. Good morning, folks. How we doing? It's a beautiful day. It's hot, kind of humid out actually, which is weird. I started my day early. I was putting my plants out and I was kind of scared because it was pretty cold. I could see my breath, but I think it's up to the 60s, maybe 70s almost, or at least it's expected to be. So I shed a few layers. I took it's about a 3-mile hike from where I live to get to the woods. And I'm just a little ways in to the woods now, so we're heading back to the spot of my first 4 videos. Hopefully my fireplace is still there, and we're gonna get ourselves a tarp set up, woo! And I think a hammock set up because the ground is extremely wet. Yesterday it rained, it poured, and it was really gross. But my goal today is to test out, well, for one, I'm testing out the new backpack. Woo! Yes. 50-liter military Molly rucksack. It's really cool. I like it so far. And I'm going to make a separate video going over the stuff that I carry in it and the features of the backpack. But I'm kind of testing it out today. I got it loaded up pretty heavy. And that 3 or 4 mile walk in just kind of solidified that I had it packed correctly. Everything was set in nice, so nothing was poking me in the back or anything, which was good. But also I got a new cook kit, or basically a new little cup/pot. It fits over my Nalgene. We're gonna go over that and maybe cook a little something in it. But also I want to see if I can get a fire started today. Everything's gonna be soaking wet and gross, so we'll see if we can get that going, and I will catch back with you guys in just a little bit. So continue watching, and thanks for watching. YouTube, what's going on, guys? I am almost to the base camp. This little holler here, that's what we call them up here. We call them hollers. Actually, we don't. We never, up in the Northeast, we don't call things hollers. But this little low area here, it's got the creek. We don't really call things cricks either, but I like saying it. There's a creek running through the holler here. The main trail is just behind us. And this is kind of the area in which I entered. I left a marking stick, and the marking stick is gone. So I don't know if Sasquatch took it or if some kids are out here, you know, causing trouble. But hopefully no one's found my camp. But we're gonna go up through the holler here, okay? And if you can kind of see, right ahead is that big, huge patch of coniferous trees, pines or spruces, or basically trees with needles on it. Past that thing with the trees with all the needles, and to the right another 500 yards is where the base camp is. So we're gonna go up there and check it out. I wanted to also show you guys really quick, this is a wildflower. It's called trillium. Trillium grows all over the place, at least in the United States. I'm sure it does in Canada as well. Trillium is easy to identify as a flower. Obviously, you know, when it has a flower on it, it's pretty easy. Everything's segmented in 3s, so you're gonna see there's 3 of these smaller leaves here, then 3 of these bigger leaves here. That's how you kind of identify the flower. But also you'll see these leaves, and this is a trillium that hasn't bloomed yet. Now, obviously they're beautiful. They're really, really amazing flowers. They come in all different colors. So you can see some of these maroon trillium right next to blue and yellow trillium, which is a really great color. But what I like about trillium is it's a good indicator that there's wild edibles around. It likes to grow in areas that a certain couple types of mushrooms like to grow in on the ground. Also, they like to grow in the same area as ramps and fiddleheads. Just the moisture in the soil and everything is correct. Also, holy smokes, this worm. What's up, wormy? If I was fishing right now, this worm would be amazing. Here, we'll put the worm on the trillium. How majestic. I actually really don't like worms. Can't believe I just picked that guy up. He's kind of gross. Look at him, he's like, hey, GoPro. YouTube, what's going on, guys? We did it. We made it back to the original first site of my YouTube channel. This is where I made the first couple videos actually. The firewall and the fire pit is still here. By the looks of it, it's undisturbed. I don't think anyone's been here since I have. I don't know. There is some stuff. There is a couple slugs in here. I gotta get the slugs out of the fire pit before I use it. Say hello to Mr. Slug. If you accidentally leave a slug in a fire pit, it will explode and there will be flaming slug everywhere. So, as much as I don't like touching slugs, it's a good idea to get them out. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my. I think I'm gonna try to set up the hammock. I have a little bit of a different way of doing a hammock setup, or at least I think I have a different way of doing it. And I'll let you guys know I have a pretty cheap tarp. I mean, pretty cheap hammock. But we'll see how it goes. I used to have a nice one, and I really didn't enjoy hammocking that much. It's kind of weird, but I just like sitting on the ground personally. But I figured, you know, you want to kind of give everything a test. So I'd give it a second try. I'm gonna give the hammock a whole new outlook here. Let's see. All right, YouTube, what's going on, guys? I got all my hammock gear out. I've got one side set up, and I just want to show you guys what I do to get my hammock set up. I got the lanyards here. I've got one for each tree. I've got a smaller one and a bigger one because there's always a bigger tree. I've got my hammock here, already strung up on one side. Yeah, this is gonna be perfect. What I'd like to do, I got these ropes here. This is just, it's strong, but it's not very good to use. It's kind of crappy rope. I could probably replace this with some paracord or something. But what I use it for, I don't really need a great rope. What I do is I take a loop here. I wrap it once around itself, then twice, and through the hole. That makes a figure 8. Okay. So you got your figure 8. I like to use the carabiner to attach. And these carabiners are aluminum, so they're wicked light. Then I take the lanyard. Lanyard goes tight around the tree. And this can actually go a little higher. And I can even, if I want to, double it up onto itself like this. Okay, so she's tight. Let's get the hammock a little spread out here. And like I said, this is just a cheesy hammock. There's nothing nice about this hammock. I lent a friend my old one, and he really liked it, and so I let him keep it. I said, why not? The tree behind me is a little small and a little dead, but but you know what, boys? I think one end needs to go up a little bit because I'm kind of at an angle. But I have slept in this hammock once. For being a cheesy hammock, I actually slept in it, and it wasn't bad. I was eaten alive by bugs. I didn't bring a bug net with me, so for 3 days I stayed in a hammock without a bug net, and it was not the greatest, but this ain't too bad. And what I would do is I'd have the fire right here. If I was sleeping out here for the night, I would literally be able to reach down and tend the fire. And I'm gonna get a tarp set up just for fun. I've got 2 tarps with me. I've got a big blue cheap tarp. Everybody needs one of those. Geez, the tarp has got to be, I don't even know. I don't really know the dimensions on the tarp, but it's a big one. I think it's a 9x12 cheap blue tarp. Set you guys down on a piece of something here, and I'll show you guys. This is about as cheap as you can get. What I use this for is a ground tarp or just an emergency shelter. In an emergency, if you double this up, put it above you, or double it up and put it below you, you're gonna have a decent shelter. Show you guys really quick. My backpack here has got this cool little molly pack, and inside this molly pack I have a bunch of different stuff. And this will attach to my waist as well, or to my back as just kind of like another backpack. But inside here is just a breakaway, basically a breakaway bushcraft pack. So in here, I got my work gloves, which I love having. 50 feet of paracord, which I'm gonna use here in just a second. This, great deal. I got this at Walmart, guys. It's 5 foot by 7 foot tarp. It was $7, and it's 100% nylon. It's completely waterproof. It's one of those nice little tarps. Something you should always have. See about getting this tarp set up here, and I will be right back with you guys. And I think we'll probably get the fire and some cooking going. YouTube, what's going on, guys? I made it. I did it. I gotta give credit to everyone who uses a tarp in the world. It's been a few years since I used something other than a huge tarp to make shelter. And it's a lot more work than it looks. A lot of those wild camping and bushcraft guys go out there, they throw a tarp up, put a hammock up, and make it look really easy. The hammock went up fine. The tarp, it just needs all sorts of little adjustments. I think it's because I'm using a 5x7, and I've got my 9x12, my trusty huge tarp, underneath me as a ground mat. So if this is a real survival situation, I would have used the big tarp first. I would have used the small one probably as the ground mat. But I just wanted to see what it would take. Took one piece of paracord just to go across as my main beam. And then from there, I used a little bit of this string, just construction string. I keep a couple spindles of it in my pack. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5. I might do 6 pegs. And then the pegs are just made out of wood, stuff I found on the ground. But like this right here, this could go out a little more. So I'm going to do that. But I'm going to relax for a little bit. It's really nice. But I suppose I will get you guys paused, and I will come back in just a second. When I'm ready to start the fire. And we'll test out the cook kit and see how that runs. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll be right back.